Hi everybody, welcome to Get Indie Gaming and to our monthly overview of 5 games, our hidden gems, that you might not have seen when they first landed. If you like what you see, please feel free to hit that like button and perhaps even subscribe to the channel. It's always great to hear what you guys think of these sort of videos, so please let us know in the comments section down below. With that, let's crack on with the top 5 indie game hidden gems for March. We begin with Wuppo, originally launched late September 2016 on the PC, with ports onto the PlayStation 4 and Xbox towards the end of last year. Almost 8 years in the making, at its core, Wuppo is a hand-drawn Metroidvania with oodles of character, and in a crowded market for such games, it's able to stand ahead of much of the competition. Following eviction from your household, you play as Wum, a many-legged circular creature as it goes about looking for a new place to live. The game's art style to us, with its scribbled look, puts us in mind of a collection of childlike drawings, and yet from a gameplay perspective there's a surprising amount of depth going on as you travel through caves, carnivals, jungles and meet up with many interesting NPCs who pretty much all have stories to tell. The boss fights, when you come and stumble across them, are fun, although at times they can create a difficulty spike that may put off a few people. While on a narrative perspective there's not too much going on in the way of the overall story, this doesn't really seem to matter given the overall whimsical nature of the experience. At number 4, Shadows of Adam launched on the PC in February of last year and doffs its cap to the classics and should appeal to fans of such games from the SNES era and old school JRPGs. Following a successful Kickstarter, Shadows of Adam follows a story of 4 characters, each with their own skill sets and personality quirks. These 4 are instantly recognisable as a warrior, a mage, a monk and a rogue. The combat uses the traditional turn-based approach, although rather than having a mana as a skill resource, the characters have an ability bar that regenerates by killing enemies or by challenging certain abilities. As you progress, you level up, meaning you can acquire new skills and abilities associated with your role. While there's nothing really very much new here, Shadows of Adam is an accomplished achievement. From the ornate craft world to the audio that's an almost perfect tribute to such games this one seeks to emulate. Shadows of Adam fully delivers on its premise, and it's one we keep returning to. As long-term viewers will attest, we're massive fans of side-scrollers such as Forma 8, which landed a little over a year ago. We were first struck by the game's visuals that evoke memories of Flashback and others, where the imagery uses simple shapes and colours to convey the environment with polygons rather than pixels. The game's use of visual clues is expertly implemented. At times the view pans out to show the scope of your environment, while also providing a sense of gravitas and making the enemy's intent and abilities well signposted. The musical score works hand in hand with the visuals. It's usually a rather calming affair, although at times it gets more intense and sinister, which could be expected of the boss fights, and this help escalates the overall tension. Movement is momentum based. The further you press the direction pad, the faster you move. This did take us a little while to get used to and ups the challenge within tighter areas. There's also very few, if any, checkpoints, which can be frustrating, and yet such feelings are common to many such games of this type. Forma 8's a solid affair with superb visuals and audio. You can buy this on the PC and all the usual consoles. From the summer's quiet release time from last year, Super Cloudbuilt delves into parkour and its wall-running mechanics seen in recent times in AAA games such as Titanfall 2 and Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. While the overall story is emotional and a touch on the vague side, it's a generally well put together experience. You start simply enough, a jump here, a double jump there, and yet soon you're able to dash and of course put together wall runnings that sees you avoiding physical structures, environmental hazards and robots and turrets placed in your way. In a nice touch, when you finish a stage, you get to see a ranking list and where you place in terms of completion time, the number of times you died and how many collectibles you picked up during the stage. This was a real surprise. It's relatively short at 5 or so hours, although the challenges and ranking systems help encourage replayability. The visuals won't be to everybody's tastes, and yet for us, we found them rather beautiful. Super Cloudbuilt should be on every speedrunner's wishlist and can be played on the PC, PlayStation 4 and the Xbox. Sadly, the studio for the March #1 hidden gem is no longer a going concern, having closed not too long after this one launched. With Hob from the people at Runic Games, which undoubtedly shows its influences from titles such as Zelda and Journey, we have a voiceless 3D adventure game where you play as an interesting and mysterious character having awoken on what appears to be an unknown planet. As you play, you discover the planet is dying and you must help transform it in order to prevent this from happening. At the onset, you're given a mechanical arm, and it's with this that's the key to the game. It enables you to reactivate ancient machinery that opens new areas by raising towers, rotating objects, or even punching a hole through the walls and cracks in the ground. It's also upgradable, which delivers additional functionality to aid your progression. At 10 hours or so, Hob feels a hugely undervalued game. It's also visually captivating, from the ancient contraptions to the lush forests and milky blue skylines. We appreciated the puzzle gameplay. While not an original concept, they are satisfying to complete. Perhaps the low point, the light touch platforming doesn't quite gel, and for the most part this is due to the fixed camera perspective. At times it's not clear if the next movement will see you land safely or fall off a ledge. While hardly perfect, this beautiful puzzler is a worthy winner of this month's top hidden gem, and we're more than happy to recommend Hob as a must-buy on the PC and the PlayStation 4. With Hob taking this month's honours, it's time to close a lid on this Hidden Gems episode. Many thanks for watching, and if there's any games you think we should cover up in follow-up editions, please let us know in the comments section or via Twitter, where we can be found via the @GetIndieGaming handle. There's still more to come from us this March, and we hope to see you here again soon for more indie game related videos.